The third and final debate between the two leading presidential candidates, current incumbent Barack Obama and former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney, happened last week. Here to debrief the contest and speculate where he thinks everything stands with just 1 week to go till election is election analyst Professor Robert Patman. Good evening, Robert.
Good evening, Rebecca.
Now, the last debate centred largely on foreign policy. Who fared best on that issue and why do you think?
I think on balance most pundits and commentators believe that Mr Obama had got the edge in that debate. Being the president and having hands-on experience in foreign policy, I suppose, helped. But the other thing that helped him is that Mr Romney, once he got into this debate, moved increasingly towards Mr Obama. He tended to agree with Mr Obama on many of the key issues, which kind of undermined his previous criticism of Mr Obama's foreign policy. So many of his supporters were a little bit disappointed by that. But interestingly, about a third of the time was actually spent on the economics of foreign policy. So the economy still looms very large in this election.
What did Romney have to say about the economy? I understand his comments are being deemed not credible.
Well, I suppose if you're a supporter of Mr Obama, you probably would not see them as credible. Mr Romney is promising 12 million new jobs when he's elected. He's promising to get the country going again, and he's promising to bring real change to Washington. He's sort of stolen Mr Obama's clothes, really, because it was Mr Obama who said, you know, his campaign slogan in 2008 was "Change we can believe in." Well, that's what Mr Romney's doing now. But the small print is where Mr Obama seems to be gaining slowly some traction, because he's challenging Mr Romney to spell out exactly how he's going to facilitate huge tax cuts, $5 trillion in tax cuts, more expenditure on the military, and yet, you know, cut down the deficit. And I think a lot of people are looking towards Mr Romney to go beyond criticism. And when we talk about a lot of people, we're talking about that group of uncommitted, relatively small number of American people who haven't yet made up their mind.
And Mr Obama has had some good news in recent weeks.
He has. It's sort of steady as she goes news, if you see what I mean, because the economy, the unemployment figures came down a few weeks back from 8.1% to 7.8%. Still not great. That means 20 million people still unemployed in the US. But on the other, this week we heard that the figures for economic growth for the last quarter are now 2%, which is deemed respectable given global trends at the moment. So I think the signs for Mr Obama are that the economy, as he says, it has been growing consistently since June 2009, and unemployment is falling. So he'll be hoping that's enough to convince most people that they should give him another 4 years to keep up, as he would see it, good work.
How are the two polling in the key states?
It's really neck and neck. And the race has tightened a lot since that first debate where Mr Romney did very well. In Florida, he's reported to be slightly ahead, but those figures are disputed, by the way. In Ohio, it seems to be neck and neck, and Mr Romney seems to have made big inroads into Mr Obama's advantage there. Other polls show that overall, Mr Obama retains a slight lead. So we'll just have to, you know, it's going to go down to the wire, as they say.
And Hurricane Sandy is proving something of a potential wild card.
It is, and it's kind of ironic, really, the way these two campaigners have planned everything except, of course, being able to anticipate this natural event. It has the potential both to enhance or diminish the prospects of either candidate. It depends how it goes. I think Mr Obama needs to respond nimbly and quickly, as he said. He seems to be doing that. And for Mr Romney, he doesn't want to be seen trying to extract political advantage from what appears to be a major problem for the United States in the next 2 days.
What's the significance of the women's vote in the US?
Well, the significance is that the issue of abortion has loomed large in the American election, and many Republicans are pro-life, exemplified by a candidate who's running for the Senate, Mr. Richard Murdoch, who said that a woman who was impregnated during the act of rape, that was a result of God's intention, or words to that effect, which have caused a storm. And I think that has consolidated a lot in the eyes of some American women that Mr Obama is much more progressive on, you know, women's issues, and certainly Mr Obama is seen as much more pro-women than Mr Romney.
Professor Robert Patman from the University of Otago, thanks very much for your time.